Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome to the SBP. I'm your boy,
Who's
Prime Source. Was good.
Brian? What up?
Not a
How you
thing,
feeling?
man. Not a thing. What's up with you? You good?
Chilling, bird, chilling. It's another day on the avenue.
I heard that, man. How was your Thanksgiving, man?
Oh, it was cool, man. Cool. House full of people. Some games, some football along with some games, I should say.
Okay.
And
Okay.
we won, of course, my team. So it's gotta be expected. Uh, yeah, did some fun stuff over the weekend with the fam, and watched Virginia Tech do their thing last night. So everybody came over for that as well.
They played with UVA,
So
right?
they played UVA, and the winner was bowl eligible. And Virginia Tech got that dub with the freshman quarterback Pop Watson out there slinging the rock in his first start ever. And so everybody was happy. So it's been a good weekend. Hopefully the Eagles can keep it going.
Yeah. Bobby, what's good? What's good, my brother? Good morning, man. It's all love. It's all love. Hope you have a great day too, man. No doubt. He said, enjoy your day, man. This Virginia weather is for the birds. Bobby, oh, you back down? You back down this way? And maybe visiting? No, my boy was down in Florida for a minute, man. That's my guy right there. That's fam.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
no doubt, no doubt.
You're not lying about that weather. My nose is freezing right now. I was outside on the controller DJing a little bit on live TikTok live, and yeah, it's cold out there. It's cold.
Yeah, I know. I saw. They said it was supposed to be cold today, so I was like, well, I ain't going nowhere anyway. But I got the window cracked as I usually do about this time, and
Right.
maybe because I got this hoodie on, but I don't know that. Maybe it's just cold and not windy, maybe because it's not like a lot of cold air coming in, in this room
Uh,
anyway. And it's the coldest room in the house.
it's not freezing, but
Right.
it's cold enough, and the wind was blowing because near the end of the live, like three different times, leaves just popped up out of nowhere, dropping in front of my face in the camera. I know people like, you are you under a tree? I'm not under a tree. Tree is way back there, but them leaves was just blowing all over the place. So yeah.
Oh, Bob, she just moved back. Welcome back. Welcome back, my brother. Welcome back. Welcome back home, man. Um, so yeah, so as I always pick with Bobby, man, I said, when he moved down there and I used to tell him and talk to my peeps like on all these videos I'm watching with these people uh walking out, walking outside to go take the trash out, and it's a gator in the yard, or uh somebody getting out to go play golf and it's a big python or something out there on the golf course or a gator. I'm like, y'all can have that. Now I don't think Bob is right there where all that was popping off, but I think he said sometimes I think he went out one time and it might have been like he heard something and they might be having like coyotes or hyenas. We got coyotes out here, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying, yeah. I can't
But
have that, bro. I ain't trying to go get my newspaper, bro. And it's a gator just sitting there, and, looking like, hey, how you doing? You know what I'm saying?
hey,
I can't
nah.
do
Well, don't want no parts of that, John. They can have that. They can have that life.
it. No. Yeah. You about to go outside to your car and see like a snake hanging from under the car. I mean, I can't do that. But we got enough problems with snakes here. They got python problems out there, man.
Yeah, they can have
And I
that.
know it's
I
certain
mean,
parts of Florida, but I'm just saying.
we had a bear supposedly in that neighborhood, bear sighting a couple months back, but
Mm-hmm.
I ain't see him. So
Liddy, what's good? Yeah, that danger noodle ain't no joke, bro. We got enough of them joints out here in VA. I ain't trying to deal with them problems they got out there, bro. No sirree. Liddy in the house. Shout out to everybody checking us out. Looks like we got a few people here on Facebook, some folks over out there on YouTube. We appreciate that.
shout out
Appreciate
to
all y'all
Lady.
checking us out.
Shout out to Lady for holding it down, moderating it live when I was on live a few minutes ago. So
No
appreciate it
doubt.
as always.
Bobby said I was out in the country, so we got cows and pigs. That's what's crazy. So when you think about Florida, you don't really think about there's country out there, but there is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Country
You know,
everywhere.
yeah. Even in California, like when people were
Definitely.
always talking about, we thinking about going to Cali. Like Florida got beaches, Cali got beaches and all that, but people don't realize, there's country out there too. I used to remember those stories that my man Chris Webber used to tell about when he was out in Sacramento.
Yeah.
In certain parts out there way, man, like out in Cali. And I was like, we really talking about cows in Cali? But yeah, they got cows in Cali too. They got cows everywhere.
Definitely.
Caesar, what's good, my man? Brian Austin, my guy. I see those Notre Dame fighting Irish, dog. You already know I know. Between you and my man, my brother Arvin Jackson, I know what time it is, man. Y'all boys out there doing some damage, man, on the way to the playoffs.
Punching people with helmets on in the face mask.
A lot of that going on yesterday.
Yo, that was wild yesterday. Wild.
Like, won't no love in the game yesterday. Everybody was all in their feelings. I don't know, because certain folks ain't going to make it to no playoffs, or just heated rivalries, just all types of stuff. Yeah.
Just angry young man.
Susan, it's all love, man. Keep your head up, brother, man. We here for you, my guy, man. Appreciate you checking in with us. No doubt, man. I'm trying to see if I can get this what's the name popping here real quick before we get into it. But it's never you can't have a Sunday morning without some type of issues.
So, of course, part of the game.
Yeah, it's all in the game, bro. It's all in the game. Yeah, man. So yeah, I'm glad you had a good Thanksgiving, man, with the fam. I had mine. I'm gonna tell you, mine is never. It's been a while since mine has really been eventful.
Right.
Like when we used to go always travel to someone's house, like family or something like that. And but over time, grandmother passed a couple years ago, and that changed some things, and then some other things. Uncle that's had a few health issues, so things have kind of changed on how we've been celebrating. So I really haven't left the house. There's always invites. You can still come down. We're gonna still do this over here. We can do that. Come by, but I just elected to stay in the crib. So I will admit, this is what's good, bro? JB in the house. Big Mo. SBP checking in strong this morning. Hey, yeah, it was the laziest ever. Like the most, I ain't say the laziest, the most boring ever. But I like boring. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was boring, bro. I had the same routine I normally have. I find my movies, two that I watch every year, the Turkey Bowl, and of course I watch the Water Boil. While I'm waiting, where the food get cooked, and I had the Detroit game always on either an extra screen or on a tablet somewhere. Until we play, and then I went back and checked out. Before I watched both of those, I went back and watched Adam Sandler, The Longest Yard again. So I filled it with football movies, man, until the food got ready, and but it was fun. Me, Cole did the cooking. Mainly was just me, my two boys, and my nephew, who is really pretty much my son. I mean, he's, I've always pretty much been his dad. So I was with my boys, and we kicked it, man. We had a good time, though, just watching football and kicking it, man.
That's what's up. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, hey, B, my guy. Yeah, no cranberry sauce. Like, I guess you saw on my personal page, everybody, I posted about you got to take one traditional Thanksgiving, something that comes with the Thanksgiving meal. You have to take one out, out of the mix. And for me, right. I was like, it's got to be the cranberry sauce. And I said, in the words of Joe Clark, take it out expeditiously. I don't jive with the cranberry sauce, man. That's not my thing. But you're not taking my mac and cheese. I'm gonna eat my turkey. You know what I'm saying? You're not taking whatever the green is. If it's collard greens, seasoned string beans, you're not taking that out of my life. I'm going to demolish the stuffing. When it comes to desserts, I'm gonna have my pie or whatever. But yeah, get that cranberry sauce up out of here for me.
Yeah, I had everything you just said, and get that cranberry sauce up out of here. Definitely not touching that. My mother-in-law came back Friday. She was like, "Where the cranberry sauce?" In the trash. If you wanted it, you should have took it with you, because it ain't staying in here. We don't want it. Don't nobody over here want no cranberry sauce. Nah, bro.
We don't want it. We don't want it.
Keep it with you.
Yeah. Shout out to one of my former schoolmates, Skyhawks in the house. He did post. It's not changing my mind. But he was like, I don't know if he said if it was his mother's or grandmother's cranberry sauce. and he said something about. Now he made it sound a little more appetizing. I'm still not messing with cranberry sauce, but he was saying something about she mixed it with some pineapples, and I'm a pineapple fanatic, so I mean, I might be open to get a small spoonful and something else. And he made it sound tasty a little bit, but still, it's gonna be the least favorite on the menu for me, bro.
I don't care if you mix it with bacon, mix it with tacos, mix it with rice, anything that I like. I don't want it. No, I'm not eating that. Keep it over there. Keep it wherever the sauerkraut is. Put the cranberry sauce beside it. If there's sauerkraut around, just put them two together. Away from me. I don't need them.
Liddy Wiley, cranberry sauce. So if you are with white people, a casserole. Liddy in the comments, Wiley, man.
A casserole.
Big Mo said it, mac and cheese top 3 draft pick. Oh, absolutely. Especially if they make it right. G White, grandmama biscuits. I feel you. Grandmother biscuits. Oh, your mama biscuits. In the word of Martin. You remember the Martin episode? The episodes, it was a couple of them. He actually mentioned his mama biscuits, but word to Martin Lawrence.
J. Avro.
B said, Brian said, touch my gravy, and there's going to be consequences and repercussions. Y'all heard that. Y'all don't want the problems, bro.
Consequences and repercussions.
No doubt. Hey, Liddy said, we always make some kind of BS casserole. Stop, please. Well, look, hey, Liddy.
Have one of them eating, John.
They in the words of the old G.I. Joe cartoon, known as half the battle, or better yet, they say admitting there's a problem is the first step. So he's already there. He's admitting.
Let it know. That don't mean everybody else know. You got to spread the word. Put it in the memo. The newsletter.
I hope everybody's Thanksgiving, man, was good. Whatever you did, however you celebrated. If you didn't celebrate, I saw one of the homies talking about he didn't even put anything Thanksgiving on the menu. He just went everything. This man was out here doing steaks, burgers, he just had, it was nothing Thanksgiving related. I was like, bro, you gonna at least maybe get some you put some mac and cheese on top of the burger. I mean, what are we doing here? But he said no. But I respect him because he did what he wanted to do. So
that's it. Live your life. That's what Rihanna said.
Only thing I saw that he did post was, if you want to call it Thanksgiving, well, it's going to be at just about every Thanksgiving. So it's going to be at Christmas too. It's going to be at New Year's Eve and New Year's too. He had plenty of alcohol.
The liquor will be flowing one way or the other.
One way or the other. It's going to be turkey and Henny somewhere.
I might be changing my life, Brian. All I had was a beer or two. I don't know.
Hey, Liddy, I'm a double egg guy too. We had double eggs too, which were on point, man. Definitely on point. So no doubt, man. I hope everybody's was great. Speaking of Thanksgiving, though, man, we had so we don't have to get too deep into it. That's anything you wanted to mention, but there were the Thanksgiving Day games that went down. Of course, we were blessed with the 3. In my mind, there was really only 3. Really, it was only one really worth talking about. But we do know which was the first game, which was the Detroit game. The Detroit game when they played the Chicago Bears. And I had a feeling, I was looking at a lot of the picks, and I almost went live on Thanksgiving morning to do a show, at least to do the picks. And then one of the guys that I've been talking about bringing on, I was about to hit him up. And I see you want to come on. If not, I was going to do a solo. But all I was saying on social media and on other shows and people picking stuff during the week, that this game was going to be absolutely horrible. Like this game was going to be a blowout. And I didn't have that feeling. I really thought that Chicago would be around in this football game and hang around. And they were. They were in this. Detroit looked early. They were able to run the football, looking like they might be able to put up some points, put Chicago behind the gun. But Chicago refused to let the game get out of hand, and they were right there. It was 23-20. The Lions pulled it off, but the Bears definitely had a chance to win this one.
If not win, at least tie that, Joe.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
did, I mean, and Eberflus paid for his mistakes. I guess the mistakes have run through the season. I'm, I'm confused overall because I'm like, what were we expecting from the Bears? I guess somebody was expecting something from the Bears because they were doing pretty well overall. Overall
Right.
for the season from my expectation, but a few late game mistakes, just silly decisions made by the coaching staff, kind of put the organization in a tizzy or in a something because they fired that man Friday.
Well, I saw a lot of people questioning, like, why at this point you haven't done it yet. This, you still got this, why file him at this point? Because you went from division, contender, over a month ago. Now you just dropped. Now you might as well finish the season. That's what a lot of people are saying, right? But you got to look at how this thing has kind of gone down because. So how many they lost? With at least 6 in a row, right? Because you got to go back to the debacle in Washington.
6 in a row?
Yeah. They've been on quite a slide. I believe it's 6 because they lost to Washington. They lost. I'm probably not in the right order, but they lost to Washington. I know they lost to the Cardinals. The one that really stings is the Patriots. And that game was something like 19-3 or 19-6 or something like that.
It is 6 in a row. Dang.
6 in a row?
Yeah. The last time they won was October 13th against Jacksonville.
So just
they
like
lost to Washington, Arizona, New England, Green Bay, Minnesota, and Detroit. But
Detroit.
the last 3 games have been by 3 points or less.
That's the funny thing. That is the funny thing when we talk about this because we see how they really stunk it up against Brian's New England Patriots. Patriots actually pull out that victory, right? But if you go back to the most important games, and I say most important because we're talking about division, this has got to sting. You've played 3 division games in a row, all against playoff contenders, and 2 of them are definitely making the playoffs, and 1 is probably going to make the playoffs. So maybe 3 here. And you lose these games by 3 points or less and had a chance to win or tie each and every one of these football games. If you go back to, you and I were together with a couple of the homies and a couple of the old SBP, and one of the SBP OGs watching the Packers game, right? Bears had a chance to win that game late. They were there till the very end of that game, looking like they were going to win that game. Then the Packers ended up making a play. I think they made a play. It was a couple of pass plays. Jordan Love, the Watson got them in position of where they wanted to be, but they had a chance to win that game. The Minnesota Vikings game, they had a chance last week to win that game, tie it or win it. And then you saw what happened on Thanksgiving. If you the Chicago Bears, bro, forget what happened in them previous 3 games. These division games, you really had a chance to stay in this thing, even if you could have won 2 of them, right? This gotta hurt, man. So to me, when you look at the 6-game slide and definitely losing within your division, the way they lost these games, I think Thursday was just the ice on the cake for Eberflus.
Yeah. Here we are. So here we are. But they did trick it up at the end. Terrible clock management, like terrible clock management. And yeah, 6 straight, as you stated.
And shout out to our guy, Alan Sanders, man. Alan been on this Eberflus thing since last year. And he's not let it go like almost every week, whether he comments in our group, his group, or just on his personal page. He has no love for Eberflus, and talks about how terrible of a coach he is, a decision maker, clock management. He said it all. You know, he's been ahead of the game for a minute. You know, like I was when I was telling everybody about my quarterback. Years ago. So yeah, I think if people are questioning it, I don't see the question. But no better time than the president to go ahead and pull the plug on it, because these last three, it's pretty much it sealed your fate. You're not making the playoffs. There's no way you're making the playoffs. But did you agree? Did you agree with the timing of it?
I mean, if they're going to do it, I get it. I get it being after that game, because that loss was bad. That ending, I should say, was bad in front of the whole world. I don't love it though. I don't love it for Caleb Williams.
My son, when we were in here eating, I said we were joking and laughing. I said, "Yep." Well, now we weren't eating yet. We were waiting on dinner, but we were like, I said, "Yep." Headlines tomorrow. Matt going, Eberflus gonna be gone.
Yeah, definitely that. It had to happen. If it was going to happen, it had to happen either then or at the end of the season. One way or the other, he was going to be gone, I guess. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe they figured he was in over his head, and these late game blunders just sealed the deal.
Right. I think
in that case, I get it.
Yeah, the person to watch here is sitting right here, right there in their division, and he's going to be the hottest coaching candidate. He was a hot name coming out this year, but the hottest coaching candidate is going to be Ben Johnson.
Johnson,
yeah, Ben Johnson, the hottest coaching candidate out there, and you would think with the young Caleb Williams, you want to steer this ship right and utilize Caleb Williams' abilities as a passer and a mobile quarterback, a playmaker, that Ben Johnson would seem like the perfect fit. Now, I know Detroit really ain't trying to see that, but Ben about to get money if he won't take it.
Ben
he
and
wants
Glenn,
that job
for real.
Everybody
gonna be gone. Got to start over.
Yeah, you look at this thing, man. You think about the problems the Chicago Bears have had over the years when it comes to coaches and quarterbacks. We can go back to 7-8 years ago when John Fox was the quarterback. Was the coach there, and they had the drafting of Mitchell Trubisky. Right, that was the Mitch Trubisky situation, and people like, huh? You can want to do what? And we see where we are with Mitch right now. He ain't money Mitch, he just Mitch. You know what I'm saying? He just Mitch. So then you go back, we fast forward maybe about 4 years, I believe it was, and that was the Matt Nagy experiment. Matt Nagy was there. They went out and got Justin Fields. And we saw what happened with that. Not that I think any of that or a lot of that was Justin Fields' fault. You gotta, you waited till after he's gone to start supplying the team with some type of weapons. And he's pretty much dealing with the same type of, you got the quarterback now who's dealing with the same offensive line deficiencies as Fields was dealing with. Right. And then, of course, we have this situation now that Eberflus gets fired after they just drafted Caleb Williams. Now, I will say, though, I think Caleb Williams is a much better talent than those other two guys that I mentioned. So they're not ready to throw the tackle. We've seen Caleb Williams look really good at times. So I think the potential is there. They just need the right coach. So this Chicago thing is going to be fun to watch. But yeah, Ben Johnson will be great over there.
Word.
Big problems in the Windy City, so we're gonna see what goes down with that. Let me see. Other games. Like I said, other games we had on Thanksgiving, man. I don't think it was much to talk about, really. The Cowboys and Giants game doing unbelievable numbers. I don't know. It's Cowboys that people gonna watch, but it was what it was. Nobody was hyped to see, Drew Lock battled it out with Cooper Rush, so.
Nope.
So it was something to do. It was on television. But shout out to the Cowboys for getting, which could be our last victory of the season. So might as well get it on Thanksgiving Day, right?
True that.
And then you had the Green Bay game. We had the Green Bay and Dolphins game. Dolphins once again proving that they have problems. They had problems that they had even with your boy Tua being back. They still got problems, and also the fact that you go down there and play in that cold weather, and you just don't work out well for you.
It never does. It never does for Miami. But yeah, I mean, it's no different than last year, to be honest. With or without Tua, Miami can't beat good teams.
No, you gotta wonder if we're gonna hear Reek start talking about getting up out there.
Wouldn't be a surprise.
I know Andy like, come on home.
He would be.
And then, of course, on Friday, we tail things off with the Chiefs and the Raiders. Of course, more controversy with the Kansas City Chiefs. That was one of the wildest things I've seen in my life. But it is what it is. And, the Chiefs just added on another probably 500,000, haters to their already large contingent. So it is what it is, man.
What was wild about it, though?
Well, everybody's thoughts on, well, first of all, if anything even moves, the wind blows anywhere to the left, that the Chiefs are going to get, they're being helped by the referees, supposedly, right? So anything involving them. And we've had all the controversy in at least 3 other games this year, whether it was, a time clock issue, whether there should have been a pass interference in a game that would have put a team on the goal line to win. And then this instance on whether or not it should have even been a play. You got to huddle up to figure out what the play is. You call something, what the play was. What's the call going to be? Something totally different. The Raiders were trying to march to at least get in field goal range, which would have won the game. So, I didn't give it that much energy, but a lot of energy was given to that.
Yeah, I mean, you don't trick it up, you ain't got to worry about
it. Amen.
And you had 2 opportunities. You had 2 opportunities. Blame the team that lost a little bit.
Yeah. I don't think the hate would have been as strong if it wasn't Kansas City that it happened to. And I get it. And I get it because some of the people that I saw making the comments, I understand if they, you feel how you feel. Can't anybody change that way, but you might have a history with the Kansas City Chiefs. So I know you're going to feel a certain way for sure, whether they beat you in a Super Bowl, whether they play in your division, whether the Raiders are your squad. I get it. I understand. Nevertheless, they got another victory. And this is a team that is fighting to get that, that bye week. You feel me? And that number 1 seed. Because you got to think about it at this point now when we're talking about it. I mean, we got pretty much them, the Bills, and the Ravens, right? Fighting for that seed initially is what it is. And I know you and I talk all the time about this not being the same Kansas City Chiefs team, right? Offensively. I always talk about we've seen this before. Now, we haven't seen a season where they, by people's standards, have been helped as much during the regular season, if you can tell. But it is the Kansas City Chiefs. And I am a believer, again, that it only takes one, these are the things you learn from. These are the things you strive on. You're going to know how to play that close game when the playoffs come. I'm not saying they're going to win it, but people seem to forget when they're waiting for this team to slip up. At the rate they're going, they may only have to win 1 game. Win 1 game to get to the AFC Championship, right? So if somebody's going to trip them up, they need to go on and make it happen. It would benefit all those team sorts to go on and actually find a way to actually beat these teams during the regular season, so somebody else can get that number 1 seed.
Yeah, that joint is out there for the taking. One L, and it's gonna be on and popping. Buffalo gonna be like, excuse me.
Yeah, at least take a page out of the Bills' regular season book and beat these people. Right. So maybe they got to touch the field more than once to get to an AFC Championship game. and then we can sit back and talk about all these close calls they've had, even with the likes of the Raiders in Jacksonville. At the end of the day, it's a win, right?
A win is a win.
A win is a win. Let's see what we got. Who knows even if we made the field goal? Who even knows if they make the field goal? They had already missed 3. I like that perspective. That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. That is true. So it is what it is. All right. One thing I wanted to ask you before we actually get in it, because we're only going to pick 5 games today. There's already been, of course, a ton of games have already been played. So we're gonna pick 5 today. But we do have to address the situation with the Washington, man, because I want to get your perspective on, is it time to panic? This is a team right now in the Washington Commanders who have lost for 3 straight games after starting off hot, and a lot of folks were already penciling them in as actually winning the NFC East, winning the division. And now we have a team that is actually on a slide. Do you think those people need to be panicking right now?
The what is the word I want to say? The fans that are not logical are panicking. If we came into week 13 back in August, we talked about week 13 back in August, and I told a Washington Commanders fan, y'all gonna be 7-5 going into week 13. Would you sign up for that? They all signed up for it.
Oh yeah, quick, fast, in a hurry.
So all it is they won the games early, so it looks a certain way, which is the same thing I say for Philly, even though Philly maybe, I'm trying to downplay Philly maybe a little bit, but looking at Philly's wins, except for the Rams one, which can be questioned as well, but Philly won 6 games. They ain't beat nobody for real. They beat nobody. But everybody hyped like they beat Baltimore and like they beat Detroit, Baltimore, Buffalo. They ain't beat nobody good. I'd rather win. I'm cool with a win, but people acting like the Eagles are world beaters. I'm like, dog, they ain't beat nobody good. They ain't beat nobody good. So, but to Washington's point, if you told them that they were going to be 7-5, they would have been hyped, ready for that. Because they started out 7-2 and then happened to lose the next 3. Everybody like, oh my God. No. What did you thought it was going 15-2? Like, what were you expecting? You were expecting 9-8. You're 7-5. Use a little wisdom and understand what's going on. This is reality. This is where you're supposed to be at best.
Well, these people, they had hope, man. They had hope. You can see
I told them, hold on, Brian. I told them people, I have said it every week. Can we wait till they play somebody good, please? let's temper our expectations until they play somebody good. Temper your expectations. All right. Okay, well, here we are.
They man, if you go back, I've been watching them these last 3 weeks, of course. I definitely watched them last week, and I see the same explosiveness there on some plays, but to me, overall as a team, they don't look quite the same to me. Now they look better. They still look better than they've looked in a long time. You know, they've still been able to make the plays as we saw in the Dallas game when they had to, even though Dallas played really good defensive, all things considered, with the players they were missing against that team. But then Washington found a way to ratchet it up and get some things going. But they haven't looked all that good to me. Well, they haven't looked the same as they did early in the year. And I go back to, you go to the Cowboy game, not that the defense was ever great, but they gave up 34 as a team, even though that was a special teams touchdown in there. 26 to your Eagles. The shocking one that kind of stands out to me is the giving up 28 points to the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? Because granted, though Russell Wilson has instilled some life into that offense, they're still not setting the world on fire offensively, other than a few plays here and there. And just when I thought the Washington defense was trying to tiptoe to catch up, just to move a little closer to what the offense was doing, but you still have that game that's sitting there. So I don't know, man. I don't know. They're at a point now that they have to be really, really careful because the division is going to get away from them. Eagles are playing outstanding football right now. And then you look at some of the other teams and how some of the other divisions are going to shake out. We got another brewing situation down in the NFC South right now where it could end up being ugly. It's real, it's very muddled. The NFC North, the top three, you got three teams there. And it's one that's above the rest, but you got two that are really close. After that, Washington better be careful. They really better be careful.
They got to be concerned about the whole NFC West, the whole West.
Oh, that's muddled. You got a team in there over there. The Niners is sitting at the bottom of the division that can still win the division.
Yeah, if you took a poll right now, who is going to win the NFC West? Most people will pick the 49ers, regardless.
Yeah, and today, I agree. Sitting there today in last place. And the way that thing is going to shake out, people, I agree with you. People would definitely take the majority of people would definitely take the San Francisco 49ers. But we talk about that's the wrong one. We talk about the Washington, but they have to be careful. So of course this says tomorrow, but this is today because I took this yesterday. But they come out and they play the Tennessee Titans today. Be very careful messing with the Tennessee Titans. I'm telling y'all. Don't think it's because Will Levis is back. To be very careful messing around with their defense. But then you come back, you come out of it, you play the Saints, and we know the Saints have looked horrible after the first, couple of weeks of the season. Some of it's on them, some of it's because of the injuries they've had. But then you got a team that with them that's still, believe it or not, it's still sitting right there. They went on even the smallest run. They could be in the talk for a wild card as of today. Even sitting there, they got 4 wins. If you look at the rest of that division, it's still sitting. It's sitting right there for somebody to make a run. The thing to get snatched.
Right.
You have, of course, they play your Eagles on just before Christmas, and then you have the Atlanta Falcons, who have been up and down like crazy, down a lot lately, but are still sitting in first place in their division. And then, of course, you play the Dallas Cowboys again to end the year. So we don't know who will be playing in that game, by that time. But still, they have to be very careful.
Yeah, they can't slip. There's too many teams hanging out right there to slide it up and take that playoff spot. Nothing's guaranteed at this point. Ain't nothing guaranteed, but we know Detroit is going to be in the mix. We know that. Everything else is we're gonna see.
Yeah, man. So Dan Quinn, better watch your back. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. Maybe they need to they want to get good again. I mean, they claim that they were. Because I had to ask these people. People was mad with me. I try not to troll, and I was getting ready to post it. They said, "Did Prime will never say nothing." He want to troll now. He want to troll. Mm-hmm. So I ain't put it out there because I ain't that person until you say something to me. But I did have to ask a couple of people. I asked my cousin. My cousin was hot with me because he want to stay in my inbox with foolishness. But I had to ask him last week after that loss. Right? I'm like, so today were you guys the Redskins or the Commanders? I just need to know. I just need to know, bro. We are the Redskins or the Commanders today. You know that fool ain't responding to me, right?
Shocking.
You gonna blow my. I hope y'all get blasted. Blow me up all week. And I just asked you a simple question when it was over, and you can't respond back. It's crazy work, cuz.
Did you wrong? They did you wrong.
Redskins. I just need to know which one was y'all, man. Just let me know. So. Worry about Tony Pollard and them today. That's what you worry about. Don't worry about it. That's what we do. Yeah. I'm sorry if I spoiled your thing. We spoiled your Thanksgiving by getting that win too. So worry about your business, bro. Indeed. let's quickly talk. Let's talk MVP. I wasn't gonna say this till once we get into it because it makes sense, but we got to update it. We haven't talked about it, in a few weeks now. And I think when we first talked about it, we were pretty much the consensus was we know it was Lamar Jackson to lose, hands down. It was his to lose, and I forgot who you had, but I know that I said that Josh Allen for me was right there. Anybody else, we were just kind of sprinkling in. I mean, at the time, you could have made a case, and which some people still will, but still for Jared Goff, we were talking about King Henry, a running back, getting into the mix. What's your feelings on it now?
Ain't that changed? It's the same too. There's Lamar
Interesting.
and Josh.
All right, so it's the same two. So give me 3 and 4.
Oh, I don't really want to say Jared Goff. I don't want to put Jared Goff in that mix. I know somebody will be like, "What about Jalen Hurts? What about Jalen Hurts, bro? What about him? What about him?" It's a tough. I honestly don't have a 3 in this moment.
So that's it. So you pretty set on it at this point in the season that it has to be a quarterback.
I mean, I'm sure somebody gonna say Saquon in the mix. There's somebody else saying Saquon in the mix. I'm sure somebody's gonna say Saquon, and I get it. I get it. I think the problem, which I'm gonna say the problem, and then I'm gonna be doing what the problem is at the same time. The problem is when you have 2 MVPs, you have no MVPs. That's what I try to focus on. If you got 2 people, you really got no people. But then I said Lamar, so that kind of defeats my own statement because Lamar and Henry the same way as Hurst and Saquon, and you got the 2, and the good part, the fun part about this picture is that the top 2 were really focusing on Henry and Saquon face off today. That's gonna be fun. Man. That's gonna be like you can't even. I might have to go away from Red Zone and just watch that game because it's gonna be whoever got the ball. Well, except for Baltimore, because you never know when Derrick Henry gonna be on the sideline chilling. You still don't know when he gonna be over there just watching like everybody else. Other than that, you can't change the channel from that joint. You don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I think the running backs have entered the chat. I do. And if not saying that either one of them is going to win it, but back when you and I were first discussing this, we weren't talking to Saquon. So we were talking it was going to be a running back at that time. It had to have been Derrick Henry, because he was tearing it up. Even though he wasn't on the field as much as he should have been, he was tearing it up. But what Saquon has done, not only the entire season, but what he's done here recently,
last week,
and then last week, 255, he has to enter the chat. He got this. It's like you couldn't have written a better script, I'll be honest with you, for him to have the game he had the week before going against Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
You see, you couldn't have written it any better. The only thing that could have been written better is for one of them to put up that rushing total in today's game. You know what I'm saying? That.
Wait, who did Baltimore play last week?
Last week, the Ravens. Who was the Chargers? Right? The Chargers game. The Chargers gave them everything they wanted for 4 minutes. So it's a night game. They played the Chargers.
Yeah. Very interesting. I know we're gonna talk about. Obviously, we're gonna talk about that game. So.
Oh yeah. I was gonna save this, but I said, well, nah. Josh ain't really got anything to do with this game. He got another big game he's playing himself. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw it out there now. But I think the running backs definitely have to enter the chat. And I personally do not feel that Lamar's lead, if he still has the lead in anybody's opinion or some people's opinion, is as large as it was
Over Josh?
a few weeks ago. You can't downplay what Josh has done since our last conversation either. Josh
Oh
has been
yeah.
Josh
They
has
said he
been
was the man. I saw multiple people say that Josh was the
yeah.
MVP after the Kansas City game.
Mm-hmm. So I don't think there's a huge lead on anybody's end, no matter who you have first.
That's crazy though.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nobody else? Like just we're looking at these four.
Yeah.
Because
I think
in
unless
your
we're
mind, I'm
forgetting
sure
somebody.
there's a small picture of Patrick Mahomes. You can't see where I'm pointing. I'm pointing to the black spot beside Derrick Henry. It's a small picture of Patrick Mahomes right there in your mind. I know you got a picture of him over there. It's a small picture, but it's a picture of him right there.
Nah, not for me. I think this is the four, and then
Hey, we still got 5 weeks left though.
Goff would have to be number 5. And he's never going to get it because there's a lot of things you
Yeah.
can point to with that team. But yeah, I'm just saying if it's going to be a fifth person, he would have to be number 5. I'm sitting there trying to think, is there anyone else I could even make a case for just to put them, just to say their names? Not to say they're definitely not going to win it.
You got to start. You got to go through the whole league. AFC East, nope. North, we already got the people from the North. I mean, if you wanted to be on some Alex Rodriguez in Seattle that year he was in the MVP running and it was terrible, you would say Joe Burrow.
Big game today for him as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Big game for him as well.
The South is terrible. The South is terrible, and there is no MVP of the South. Just a bunch of peas.
Well, I'll tell you. You know what? I'll tell you.
Don't you say Bo Nix.
Oh yeah, no, I'm joking. Right? I think I didn't beat folks down enough to show y'all that, but I didn't been talked about him enough that people realize now that this dude can ball. And if he continues to grow, he could be a problem the next couple, 2 or 3 years if he continues to. Bo's a baller. Yeah, I just scanned the league, man. I don't think you can really make a case for anybody else. The closest person is a drop off. The closest person you can make a case for, in my opinion, is a guy who's a quarterback of a team that's in trouble right now. We just talked about him. That would be Jaden Daniel, right? So, and I think before this slide, I think it would be a legitimate conversation just to have him in the conversation, at least just to talk about it, to watch him. But I don't think much of any of this slide is really him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, yep. So there it is. But I think the running backs have to definitely enter the chat at least. Let me go from there. Yes.
It's going down.
Let somebody break 200 today. I'm just saying.
Somebody break 200 today. It's too much going on today in that game. I'm gonna have to. I don't know. I got to get ready. I got to get my mind right for that, John.
Indeed. So we didn't talk Thanksgiving. We didn't talk about the problems in the Windy City. We talked about the problems. Was it time to panic in Washington? And we just gave our thoughts on the MVP situation right now. So it's time to pick some games. We got 5 games we want to pick, and these are actually for it to be a slim down Sunday. All 5 of these games that we're picking today, to me, have the potential to be really good. They didn't leave us with any garbage. Let me say that. We've had some Sundays like you and I have been doing shows over the years, and after they would play the 3 games on Thursday, before there was even a Friday joint, and I'm sitting back and I'm scrambling to find, more than 2 good matchups amongst them. I'm like, darn, they might have looked good at the beginning of the season, but now this team I thought was going to be this. I thought it was going to be 9-2. You know what I'm saying? It's 5-4, and they, it's crazy. But we got 5 good ones today, man, and we definitely going to start this off over in the AFC North, where the Steelers and the Bengals are set to get down. And of course, the Steelers are coming back. They've been kind of up and down. They just played, they just had a rough one, getting taken out by your boy Jameis Winston inside the division. And the Steelers definitely cannot afford, as far as seeding, they cannot afford to lose another game inside their division. And the Bengals are the Bengals. We can expect the Bengals at any given time to be exciting offensively, but still possibly lose the football game. What you think about this?
Yeah, I haven't thought anything too negatively about Pittsburgh. Of course, everybody has to play under the same conditions on the same day. Well, the opponents have to play on the same conditions on the same day. But Pittsburgh losing to Cleveland, it wasn't that big a deal to me. Baltimore already lost to Cleveland. Pittsburgh losing to Cleveland is not a big deal. Am I tripping? Cleveland beat Baltimore. Because Lamar threw his helmet. Yeah. So it's par for the course in the AFC North. Craziness is bound to happen, which is why you got to watch out for Cincinnati today, especially when Joe Burrow is still having a very good season overall, even though the record would not say that.
Indeed. I agree. I totally agree. I think the dangerous part about this for the Pittsburgh Steelers is, as I mentioned earlier, you just don't want to lose another division game. But
Right.
then I think, too, if you lose this game, considering the season that Cleveland is having and consider what the Bengals are having, what does that do to your team's psyche if you were to lose to these teams with these subpar records? Right. Mike Tomlin gonna talk good. He gonna say all the right things in the press conference, and Mike Tomlin gonna be Mike Tomlin. And I believe that he truly believes what he says. But I'm thinking about the rest of the squad. Russell Wilson gonna give you that motivational speech, and
Right.
about how we're gonna keep grinding, we're gonna keep doing this. But what about the rest of the team? You got people out there like Pickens who, we know ego-wise, he can be a little something. He didn't have the strongest of egos right now, good as a player as he is, and some of the other guys. I think this was the more dangerous part about the Pittsburgh Steelers if they lose this game. What does it do to their mindset?
Yeah, and I guess that's a possibility. But for me, Baltimore should have lost to Cincinnati. So, and it's in a division. If there's an L that I might not like, but I can accept because we play each other twice a year, it's in a division, whether they're good or bad. We see that all over the place when different teams that we think are pretty bad play hard against teams in the division. We just saw it Thursday with Chicago, which not that Chicago is very bad, but they had lost 5 games going in, and they were on the road division game. You thought it was going to be a close game. Wasn't because Chicago's been playing well, because it was a division game. If Chicago was in a different division and they didn't see these people regularly, you would have said Detroit by 40, just like everybody else. So, I'm not putting too much on it.
Yeah, it's Steelers got to be careful in this one too, because as good as that defense is, right?
Mm-hmm.
I saw some chinks in the armor. Saw what Jameis did to him. I saw some chinks in the armor, and you're going against this passing offense. Jamar Chase just turned things up. Your man's Joe Burrow, 3 straight games with at least 3 touchdown passes. 12 touchdown passes total over the last 3 games. Don't forget what he did the Raiders dirty for 5 of them things, about 3 weeks ago. Right? So it's they better be careful. Word to Joey Porter Jr. Like, they better be careful in this one. Now, on the flip side of it, when they played, you saw what Myles Garrett did. You saw what Myles Garrett did to getting out there and wreaking havoc, right? I'm not saying that Trey Henderson is Myles Garrett, but I am saying he's a problem.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So Pittsburgh better be very, very careful in this one. I think, though, it's all about making plays for me, man. And I think the red zone is going to tell us a lot. So it's going to be give and take. Who's going to stand up in that red zone? Because if you look at it, as good as the Bengals are like offensively or can be offensively, they up and down in that red zone. Like when they get inside, it's like it's almost better if they just score before they get in the mix, right? But are they gonna have to be? Because as good as the Steelers defense is, they haven't been good when teams have managed to get in the red zone as far as keeping them up out of there. So that's gonna be the thing to watch. And I'm gonna believe in Joe Burrow to make at least one play in that bad boy, if not two, when they get down there. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm taking the Bengals, man. I'm gonna take the Bengals to win this game 30-23. Did I say 30-23?
24.
30-24?
Yeah.
Wow. I see JB got the Steelers 27-24.
JB got the Steelers, okay.
Yep. And I don't
think Don have been a jump.
Well, I saw what Don was in here earlier, but he hasn't commented in a minute, so we'll grab his if he jumps back in. So
Word.
And but JB got 27-24 in this bad boy. So very, very, very fun game, man. I can't wait to peep that.
Yes, sir.
So what we got next? All right, so next up, we are going to talk about the Chargers and the Falcons.
The Chargers.
The Chargers and the Falcons, man. And the big update, I know, Liddy, you had posted earlier, and I was definitely set to talk about it. Thing for the Chargers, man, J.K. Dobbins has been put on IR. How big is that? He has been, the linchpin. He's been really huge in what they've been doing. The defense for the Chargers has been great, but J.K. Dobbins has been really, really good for this team. If you want to know how big, so you talk about a guy that you could count on any given week to come out of a game with 4 or 5, maybe even 6 yards per carry in a given game. Mm-hmm. There's a huge drop-off. Now, they just got Gus Edwards back. I'm thinking basketball. It's got Gus Edwards back, right? Edwards, if you take Gus Edwards and the other 2 running backs that they have, what's the kid? Duvall and Hassan Haskins, right? They got like 276 total yards, man. Total between the 3 of them. Right. So, so you lose a Dobbins, you lose a guy that can run the football, you lose a guy that's very good catching the football out of the backfield. Right. Think about Gus Edwards. Gus can run the rock, but they haven't used him a lot out of the backfield. It's been some of the other guys. So I think this is going to be a huge hurdle for the Chargers to overcome.
Yeah, that's definitely a problem because Edwards, like I said, Edwards was out for a minute early in the season. He's just getting back on the field comfortably, and yeah, that is what the offense has been set around. Dobbins is what the offense has been set around pretty much the whole season. Especially, it was set on the running game, but it ended up just being Dobbins for the most part, is what it was, and that's how Jim Harbaugh kind of came into this thing. With the pressure not being as much on Justin Herbert as it has been for the past few seasons, that he had to make all the plays all the time. Now he's not even the primary, he's the secondary to Dobbins. But I feel like Herbert has been more active in recent weeks as opposed to earlier in the season when it seemed like it was run, and more run. So it might be the perfect time. It might be the perfect time for there to be this issue, Not that there's a perfect time for an injury to your leading rusher, but if it had to happen, why not right now when Edwards is getting back healthy? And Herbert's been throwing the ball down the field quite a bit in these last few weeks. So I'm not mad at it for I want to say San Diego so bad for the Chargers. I want to call them San Diego. Move back to San Diego so I can. All right, they ain't gotta do all that. I'm gonna just call them San Diego anyway. But for the Chargers, yeah, I think they'll be fine. It's a big deal. I agree with you. It's a big deal, especially after years and years of having a running back that was your security blanket at all
Indeed.
times. So it's a new world, but I think Herbert is up for the task.
Yeah, I think he can get it done. It's a matter of who's he gonna throw the football to.
Mhm.
And Lad McConkey has been as a rookie has been impressive though.
Tough.
He's going to be somebody that's going to be pretty good. What they need though, they're going to need that big game from Quentin Johnson. When I say big game, I don't mean Quentin Johnson got to go out here and catch 8 to 10 passes. A good game for Quentin Johnson might be 4 catches for 90 yards, one of them being a 50-yard touchdown. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Quentin Johnson is going to have to stretch the field for him, and we've seen them do that to some success. Because you go to the Falcons, they had a team that at the beginning of the season looked really good defensively, and we were expecting big things. But if you go back and check them the last few weeks, they've really come down a little bit. They've definitely come down a little bit, and you add that in with the inconsistency on the offense, and it's kind of brought them down a level. So, in my opinion, their team sitting there on top with 6 wins, they should probably be. I expected them to be at least at maybe 8 wins by now,
Yeah.
right? The Atlanta Falcons. So, and then they can't figure out who they want to be because we talk all the time about Derrick Henry not getting the rock, and sometimes I'm wondering, y'all gonna give Bijan the ball today?
Yeah. Right.
Then 2 weeks later, oh, now y'all want to give him the football. Or just like they picking and choosing between Bijan and Algier and how much they really want to get him to rock. And it
Yeah.
should be a lot more if you consider the injuries the Knicks they've battled through in and out week to week at the receiver. You don't never know if Drake London's going to play. Pitt's going to give it a go. The people realize that neither one of those guys are healthy. And, of course, they're going to run the proper coverage against, Donnell Mooney. So, but I think this is going to be a really fun game, man. All things considered in this one. I think the Falcons' inability, though, to get the pass rush is going to be all that's needed for Justin Herbert. You were talking about him. And they don't cover the slot receivers that well either. That's been a problem for them, and that's when I enter Lad McConkey. So that's why I think the Chargers are going to win this game. They're going to score something odd, like 25 points maybe. So I said maybe 25-21.
You got 25-21.
Yeah.
Chargers.
Oh, Chargers go.
Yep. I got the Chargers as well. Because the way Atlanta got blown out, what was it, week before last?
Yeah.
That joint threw me, man. I was like, come on, bro. I can't even rock with y'all like that no more. This don't make no sense. So y'all just not gonna show up is what y'all are doing. That's crazy. So I can't rock with Atlanta like that. I'll keep it close though, 27-24, but I got the Chargers as well.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about earlier when we were talking about that division out in the South, because the Falcons can't afford to lose it. They're sitting at number
Right.
one in the top spot at 6-5. And I know some people thought I was crazy. Like, let me go check what Prime talking about. Was he drinking this morning? Not yet. But when I said the Saints were sitting there at 4-7, so they're sitting 2 games behind these people. Saints mess around and win today, and the Chargers lose, and there's a 1 game. I mean, the Falcons lose, and it's a 1 game difference.
Mess around and get a triple double. Yeah.
Yeah, this is wild. So there we go. So Don is in the house.
Okay.
So first, this game, let me see. Well, I see JB got 32-28 for the Chargers. Let's see. Don says play Vidal in your lineups today. That's tough. I like that. I like that. That's tough, but it's all about picking the right running back. That's the other back. So they got the 3 backs. They're gonna be going with Gus Edwards. They're gonna be going to I think it's Kamani Vidal and Hassan Haskins. It's gonna be a 3-back attack. I expect I expect Gus to get a lot of the carries and a lot of that goal line work, but these other two guys are a little bit better at catching the ball out of the backfield.
That's where it comes in right there.
Yeah. And me telling y'all that the first play in this game when they flash in the red zone gonna be Gus Edwards on a swing pass for a 62-yard touchdown. Hey, Doc, I don't see your score for this one. The Chargers Falcons. Hey, Source, you can't mark Don down in the Bengals, though. The Bengals, he got the Bengals 27-23.
27-23. That's wild. Because I had 30-24, you had 30-23. JB had 27-24. Cuzzo got 27-23.
Yeah, JB said he said he think Herbert might throw 3 TDs a day.
That's what I'm talking about.
Get loose on these people, man. Yeah, Quentin Johnson. And watch, I keep taking him in and out of my lineup.
Me too.
Watch, I'm gonna leave him out the lineup, and then he gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like,
shot.
Yeah. Same as I did with Addison twice in the past 3 weeks. Because we about to talk about the Vikings next, but I done got messed over with Addison, yanking him out of my lineup at the last minute in Minnesota, and then of course it ends up doing me dirty.
Johnson has to get the ball today because he had 0 catches last week.
Yeah, so I told you he's one of them guys that'll be good. He can get 3-4 catches in the game and be effective the way they play. So let's see. Okay, there we go. Don got the Chargers 23-19.
So we all Chargers. And JB was the only one with Pittsburgh. And the other game.
In the other game. Yep. Indeed. 3 games left on our docket for today. Next up, as I mentioned, we're going to move on to another very interesting game with the Cardinals and the Vikings. Last week, the Cardinals suffered a crazy loss to Seattle, 16-6. How shocked was I? They only scored 6 points. Very shocked, because it started to look like that Kyler Murray and that offense was really about to be somewhat of a problem. Like they were converting third downs at the highest rate they have in the past, 2 or 3 seasons. They were mixing it up with the running backs. They were starting to Trey McBride, letting y'all need to talk about me as one of the better tight ends, because he's a problem. He's hard to cover.
Definitely.
And they go out there and lay this egg last week. And I'm going to tell you this much, people, what's even crazier. Little history for you. The Vikings have not lost to the Cardinals. It don't matter if we talking Phoenix Cardinals, St. Louis, whatever. They have not lost to these people since 1977.
Good God, that's stupid.
1977. 11 straight wins for the Vikings against the Cardinals, no matter, what city or state they were in, right? So there's a lot of history there. But the Vikings come in at 9-2, the Cardinals 6-5. What you thinking, Source?
I'm thinking, dang, that's a lot of L's. That's a lot of L's. Sheesh. Yeah. I don't have a lot to say about Minnesota because as good as Minnesota started out, and they're still good. Like, they're still good. They've just been kind of sleepy to me these past few weeks. But I'm taking Minnesota, definitely. I'm definitely taking Minnesota. Like, even before that outrageous stat that you just dropped on us. But Arizona is so, I don't want to call them crafty as a team, but if they keep a game close, like they keep a game close, like they definitely have a chance to grab that dub. But I don't know that they're gonna keep it close. That's the thing. I'm gonna just stick with that. They're not gonna keep it close. It's 30-17.
Man,
I was trying to find a way to make it close, but nah, I'm good.
Yeah, we talk every week about the Minnesota defense and how their blitz rate, they're one of the highest blitzing teams, and the complex blitzing blitzing schemes that they run, right?
Right.
If you're gonna get Kyler Murray, you're gonna blitz him. You need to see that little guy running, legs moving, You know what I'm saying? And there's gonna be a whole lot of that today. And I think that's what the problem is gonna be. You know, Minnesota just gives you so many different looks and so many, they disguise so many blitzes. Keep things moving and keep the quarterback, you know, uneasy, man. I think that's really the deciding factor. Also, do you know what they have in common with the Steelers, the Eagles, and the Chargers?
What do they have in common with the Steelers, the Eagles, and the Chargers? What Minnesota does?
Yes. Other than the fact that they're going to make the playoffs, but all going to make the playoffs.
Steelers, Eagles, and Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Coming into last week, those are the only 4 teams in the league that are giving up less than 200 points on the season.
Okay. So I was thinking a points thing, but I wasn't thinking average. I was thinking more of like the most points they've given up or not above a certain amount. But okay. So under 200 points total, 12 games, 14 was 15. Dang.
Yeah.
That's under, so at 17? That's right at 17. Right at 17, a little bit under 17.
Yeah. And that's why they're gonna be a problem for Arizona too, man. Just they don't traditionally give up a lot of points in the game. You might catch them here and there, and you might get 20 something, but they keep you right in front of them. And you add into the fact too that your boy. So I was talking about Addison. Addison's been on a tear too. Addison has scored a touchdown in 3 out of the last 4 games, right?
Right.
JJ hasn't. JJ just being JJ out there saying the right things. I'm gonna make a big play here or there. We were 13 weeks in. Do you know how many touchdowns that JJ has on the season?
2.
He's got 5. He's got 5.
I know,
but I understand why you would think 2. Do you know the last time he scored a touchdown?
Week 2. No, I don't know.
Man, last time Justin Jefferson scored a touchdown for this team was 2 weeks before everybody went trick-or-treating, bro.
October 17th or around that time.
And he hasn't. It's been about 2 weeks before Halloween. So last time Justin Jefferson actually scored a touchdown for this team, and this team is still trucking along at 9-2.
That's the thing. People kind of wrote it. They didn't really write him off, but they kind of was like, "See, I told you," when they lost to Detroit. Act like as if losing to Detroit is something to sneeze at. Ain't but one more L on the season. That's it.
Exactly. But yeah, I like the Vikings in this one, man. Cardinals are 4-2 at home, but they had their troubles on the road. All their problems been on the road this year.
Yeah.
And they on the road today. You know, they in the Vikings house, so they're going to hear the horn sound and all that today. So I'm gonna take the Vikings 27-17.
All right. Who's next? JB?
JB got the Vikings 19-17.
JB said them people's gonna have a hard time.
Yep, 19-17. And don't see nothing from Don yet. I'll give it a sec. But yeah, man, it's going to be. This is another fun one. I want to see how Kyler Murray reacts to all them people running up on him and running at him. Don got the Cards 21-17.
21-17.
I like that. He gets the grain.
21-17. That sound good.
Hey, y'all don't need that to happen though, Don.
Nah.
Hey, y'all don't need that to happen though, bro. I know you picking them, but I know you in the back of your mind. They're like, oh, they ain't gonna win. They ain't gonna win for real. They ain't gonna win.
I don't want this to happen.
They don't win.
It might, but I don't want it to.
I don't want it. And trust me, I understand.
It makes sense to me.
All right, so what we down to? What was your score?
Mine was 30-17.
30-17. We right close. So a couple of these joints. Field goal difference between your pick and mine. Yeah, Don said he really don't, but you know. You don't want them people to win that game. All right, we out here now. We got 2 games left. Okay, now it's time for the Eagles and the Ravens. We was mentioning earlier, on most people's schedule, that would be the best game, the most anticipated matchup of the day, probably for the week, to be honest with you. What y'all gonna do today, Source? How you feel about this?
Brian, I gotta say the Eagles have looked good
Good.
to the naked eye. To the naked eye, they have looked good. I mean, you watch a lot of Saquon Barkley
Man,
highlights.
they get out. They look good. They look good to Ray Charles.
Well, yeah, they look good based on who they're playing. That's all you can do is play who you're playing, and they have looked good against the competition that we've seen in the last 7 or so weeks. But I am still on my until last week, I was even more on my they ain't playing nobody because look at the game, look at the opponents, and tell me a good one until you get to the Rams, and that's if you think the Rams are good.
Right.
So today is a real test. A real test. Now, if the Eagles come out here and ball out, I will be forced to say, all right, maybe they own one. Maybe they own one. But as much as I would love them to ball out and blow Baltimore out the water, I can't see that happening. This matchup is too crazy. It's too crazy because like the average person is going to take Lamar over Jalen Hurts. Like you got 2 MVPs versus none, but you've got 1 Super Bowl appearance versus none. Also, the other direction. And actually, all 4 of these players, I guess, in some capacity, are in the MVP running. In some capacity, all 4 of these guys in the pictures are mentioned. Saquon, and both of these rushing defenses are excellent.
Yes.
So I guess the question really becomes, who do you trust more to throw the ball down the field? Who do you trust more when they drive back that something good's going to happen?
Is Devontae Smith playing? I didn't check that.
He's questionable.
Okay. If anybody see an update on that, let me know. Oh, well, hold on. I just asked, and I missed Don's comment. Don says that y'all without Smith today. So you seen that officially though, Don? That he ain't playing? That's gonna be big right there.
That is a big deal. Absolutely. Absolutely a big deal. Got me nervous. I'm so nervous. I ain't nervous. I'm not nervous at all because my expectations are low. But I will. Am I supposed to give my score now? I don't even know.
You can. I mean, I got a couple of things, but you can if you want to.
I'll wait.
So the Eagles, man, hot, bro. The boys are hot. Y'all done won, 7 in a row? 7 games in a row. And the one thing I noticed about y'all, man, is defensively.
That's it.
Shockingly to me, y'all been looking pretty good. Like I was expecting to be able to exploit y'all, especially in that secondary a little bit. And y'all took a tough one. I think y'all lost BG for the season, right?
BG out for the season. Slay out today.
Get Slay out today.
Yep.
Still gonna be a tough one. So you got to put somebody on Zay. That's gonna be a tough one. I think this is a game where you see a lot of tight end work from Lamar. I can definitely see Andrews and likely playing a big role in these games right here. But the thing is, these 2 running backs. I want them to get into this bad because I know Saquon gonna get the rock. I need Harbaugh to make sure that Henry getting that rock too. We need us on the outside, especially because I don't have a dog in this fight. I was going to say a cow. So we talking about cows earlier. I don't know how you put them. Do cows even fight? Do they fight?
No, because as soon as they tip over, it's a wrap.
Okay, we were talking about cows earlier in the show, and now I got cows on the brain, but I ain't got a dog in this fight, so it don't make me no difference any way or the other. You know, I can't say I want Philly to lose because losing ain't gonna make a difference to me. You know,
True.
we gonna be sitting at home anyway. So at this point, so I'm not
Right.
worried about. It ain't like it's gonna do me any good. I'm gonna be able to catch up to him, right? So that's a done deal. But I need both of these running backs to get the football, man. Both of these running backs need at least 20 plus carries. Are y'all listening?
Mm.
And I need somebody to go ham in this game. The perfect scenario would be both of them to go ham.
It wouldn't.
Break
Go
one.
on.
King Henry break one. Saquon break and score another one. Henry score another one. That's what I know everybody want to see the quarterback do. I mean, I want to see how Hurts gonna perform. I want to see how Lamar gonna perform because we're gonna be watching that matchup quarterback versus quarterback. But I want a running back dude too. Can y'all get that to me today? Can y'all please get that to me today? I want some excitement in this bad boy, not just the hype of the game. So, but I think in this game, man, I think the one thing I'm concerned now with my pick that Devontae is not playing. All right, I am concerned. Not that I don't think Brown can't get out here and do some things and some of the other guys, but I'm concerned about Devontae because I'm gonna tell you now, if Devontae was playing this game, I would feel extra confident. Matter of fact, y'all gonna think I'm crazy. If Devontae Smith was playing in this game, I have the Eagles winning by 2 scores. And when I say 2 scores, maybe it's 10 points, right? I would have the Eagles win this game. But I'm going to temper my expectations a little bit now that he's not playing. But I think Philly's going to be able to put some points up on him regardless. Balanced offense. Jalen plays smart. So I like your Eagles today, man. I ain't going to deliver out no more. I'm going to take them 30-26.
Look at that, Brian. Let's see.
I like the Eagles today.
30-26. I can't be mad at that, Brian.
Hey, look, man, y'all ain't winning. Look, y'all trying to win the division, man. You know, and like I said, we won it last year. How many years is it now? We got to go back. Nobody has won the NFC East for mad years. You know, it's back to the grill again for y'all, man. Y'all trying to get back on top. You know, matter of fact, shout out to third base for putting the differences aside and getting back together. Respect. I had to throw that in there. So we're talking back to the grill. Much respect. Prime Minister Pete Nice and definitely my main man search. But yeah. I Philly gonna win today, I think.
All right. I'm gonna be honest. In reality, I would pick Baltimore personally. I pick Baltimore, but I ain't doing it with this sweatshirt on. Ain't no way I'm doing it with this sweatshirt on. So, Homer alert. Eagles. Prime said he picked the Eagles big if Devontae was playing. I'm picking the Eagles big without, in spite of Devontae not being in the game.
Say it with your chest. Well, you are saying it with your chest because the Eagles is on your chest. So
Bow. You know what time it is. Bird Gang and Company. I'm the company in this particular scenario. Bird Gang and Company. All right, I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna do all that. 38. I want to say 40 for entertainment purposes. 38. Baltimore 24. I'm gonna take that 14-point difference that you were talking about and put it into practical use. 38-24 Eagles.
yeah, and don't y'all come for me either if Philly lose, man. I'm just trying to see what I really felt. I won't troll him, but if y'all lose, I mean, hey, don't come for me, y'all. Don't even come for me. Stay on my inbox. Like all y'all anyway. Let's see. JB said he thinks it's a big yeah. So I guess when I was talking about the tight ends earlier for Lamar, JB said he think that Goddard on the other end can have a big day today too. I can see it. Philly, the Ravens try to, overcompensate a little bit for their lack of pass coverage on that back end, and maybe Goddard draw some one-on-ones. There could be some lanes there for him, so I can actually see that happening. Very key in that red zone.
Definitely.
Very big key
What's
in that
the
red
key
zone.
To the lie?
Eagles 35-32 for JB. Don has the Ravens 29-24. That seemed like a score for a Ravens score, too. So he got 30, but he got 29-24. I got 30-26. Okay. Very interesting. Said choked up when he said 38. Yeah, I did. Ooh, yep. And I saw, yeah, I knew that likely was back. That's why I said, JB that said that Prime choked up when I said he said 30. I did. I definitely did. And the Don said likely back today for sure. I caught that. That's why I put that in there. I was like, yeah, I can see them tight ends doing some damage.
Yeah.
Ought to be a fun game. And we down to our last game.
Last game.
We know the two OGs in the chat have special interest in this one because it definitely pits their San Francisco 49ers
29.
against MVP candidate Josh Allen and his Buffalo Bills. Word to Berman, we said nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. You go back in history, man, you think about this. You remember there was 7 straight years where at least one of these teams was in the Super Bowl. You know, it was going to be the Niners or the Bills. You know what I'm saying? And it was close. It was some other times it was closer than that because there was a couple of NFC Championship games with Niners and the Cowboys. But, well, there was one that we got past. We over the hump. Word to Alvin Harper. But, yeah, man, historic matchup about to go down today out in Buffalo. How many straight years was it that Chris Berman picked this Super Bowl matchup? It was at least 10, right? I think it was at least 10. It was like 10 straight years Chris Berman had these two teams playing in the Super Bowl.
I forgot all about that, Joe.
Yeah, he picked it every year when him and Tom Jackson would be sitting up there. I'm pretty sure it's 10 years.
Wow. That's wild. This is going to be an entertaining game. What's the...
Hey, so I mean to cut you off, but I know you was out there, trying to make them extra ends every now and then. You and I talked about, and I could use some extra money too. I know how to make some extra money, bro.
What's up?
Let's get off this show. If we got to get on the plane. I don't think it's that bad the weather conditions though. We can go shovel some snow. Bro. They paying people $20 an hour again after they go shovel snow.
You
must
ain't see the picture. Oh yeah. I ain't see it today. I saw it yesterday. It ain't look promising. I
saw earlier today, so I was thinking it was going to be snow at game time, right? But when I saw earlier today before we came on, the people was already out there shoveling. So they're snowing now. So what it's going to look like by game time, because the game is later on tonight, I don't know if it's just going to be flurries or continue snow. I don't know.
We need this. My daughter has landed back at school. She is on the bus from Syracuse back to Ithaca as we speak. So it can snow at this point. It can about another hour. It can snow. I really don't want it to snow because I'm going up there. I'm going up there in a few days. I don't want to have to fight the snow and the hills at the same time because that don't seem promising. But for football's sake, we want that snow in Buffalo. It will make for an entertaining ball game, especially between these two teams. I think that'll be a good time. James Cook can be like, give me the rock. Let me go ahead and get this money. I'm going to throw Josh Allen in my lineup. I'm sorry to Cuzzo and JB. But they understand because they looking at their team crazy too. I got Buffalo, bro. For real. Like, untrustworthy. Although they did say they believe in Brock Purdy. Is Brock Purdy back?
Yeah, I saw earlier today they said that they're gonna test him out, but they expect that he should be able to go.
Okay, Purdy's back. Well, that should be pretty good for them this week. But I still got Buffalo getting a dub and a fun one. It's gonna be a fun game, regardless if it's rain, sleet, or snow, wind. but the MVP is going to MVP. He's going to MVP. And I'm going, I heard the score earlier today. Yep, you said it earlier today in the Cincinnati Pittsburgh game. I'm going the Buffalo 30, San Francisco 23.
I got Buffalo 30-24.
Stop playing.
I tell you not. Y'all probably can't see now the paper. Y'all can't see that, but yeah, it's highlighted 30-24.
So what you are telling me is I had 30-24 Cincinnati. You had 30-24 Buffalo.
Yeah,
You have
yeah,
30-23 Cincinnati. I have 30-23 Buffalo.
yeah, yeah. And Don, I know y'all got Trent Williams out. No Bosa. Like it's gonna be tough sledding over there, man. Sledding. I ain't no pun intended. It's going.
Literal sledding.
Yeah, it's going to be a good game, man. Bills win today. They'll be only the fourth team. They have a chance, depending on some other things, to be only the fourth team since the 2004 Eagles, I believe, to win the division with 5 or more games left. Yep. I think it was what we had. Was it the I think it was the 2004 Eagles. It was the 2004 Eagles. It was the 2007 Patriots and the 2009 Colts.
All those things make sense.
Yeah. So Josh Allen competing today against the team he grew up rooting for. Oh, Cali boy. So
root for them no more.
So no doubt. Yep. So what we got in there? JB 27-24, the Bills. Okay. Says no faith in his boys today.
Cuzzo ain't gonna let us down.
31-28 for Cuzzo for the 49ers.
I know that's right. Right.
Oh, Don, you confident today? So you gonna be on that Call of Duty today? Or you gonna actually watch the game? Because remember last week he was you weren't here last week. we were talking about the games. I was so sure that of course that Washington was gonna beat the brakes off us in that game. That I was talking about playing some college football or something. A couple other people was talking something. Don was like, he wasn't even gonna watch that mess last week. He was kind of scared. He didn't want to see it, so he was gonna be on that Call of Duty.
The disrespect.
So and I get it. You sometimes you understand what your team is going through, and you understand if you're just not good. Problems with the 49ers right now more so than what we talk about what they've done offensively or haven't done offensively. The defense ain't the same. Even Fred Warner said that. He said he can't quite put his finger on it, but the defense ain't the same defense that we've been seeing these past couple of years, and that's their biggest problem. They fix that, they go from bottom back to first place real quick.
From the bottom to the bottom to the top to the top.
I say ended up watching the game last week. You're gonna watch this one too. JB said, "I'll be on Call of Duty." I understand, bro. I understand. So, I still think it's gonna be a good game, especially if Purdy's gonna play. I think it definitely will be a good game, man. No doubt. No doubt.
How good are you?
What you got for the people?
What do I have for the people?
Got anything for the people, man, before we get out of here?
No, I don't even know, Prime. Today is December 1st, so I have lots of ideas, but I don't think any of them are going to be put into fruition at this point because it's kind of late, and in fact, I got stuff going on. Oh, next week, I'll be live at least 2 days. I think I'm gonna do a marathon joint at some point next week during the day, maybe an 8-hour live or something with the vibes and all the good stuff during the day. We'll see.
You going hard, like 8 hours, like straight? No, you
8 straight.
Woo! Thought you gonna break the joint up or something and do a couple here and come back. I'll be back.
No, I ain't going nowhere. I'm staying. If I have to go to the bathroom, I just put on Rapper's Delight, the original version.
I be wondering, man, because I be watching some of the cats that DJs I follow on TikTok,
Yeah.
bro, and I'm like, I wonder if he's gonna step away from this table. I've been watching this dude for 2.5 hours. I've not yet once seen him step away from the screen. I know he got to go. I know he got to go. And one of the cats I'll be watching, he probably be, well, I have seen him step away, so I imagine where he's going, but he'll go 3 hours. But I guess it's his wife or somebody be steadily bringing him Coronas, though. Every time. He starts off, he's got a shelf over this side, and he's DJing. And every day he drinks a Corona. Hey, what's up? He drinks a Corona. After a while, the Corona ends up on the shelf. Pretty much by the end of his life, it's usually 3-4 bottles minimum. You never really see the wife or the girlfriend. That's what's the crazy joint. Like a couple times he kind of in the picture, and you can kind of see the hair, whatever. But usually to see the arm or him reaching this way. But yeah,
okay. Going in.
Go in hard, man. Go in. No doubt. Well, we run up on game time, and we appreciate everybody that checked us today. Want to give a shout out, definitely give a shout out to Jawan and Joel came through last week. That was a great show last week, man. A lot of good insight. We had some fun, had some laughs, had plenty of jokes in there from those guys, as well as in the chat, I allowed the Call of Duty reference. Cats won't trying to watch their teams play. So shout out to those guys. Those guys will be back on real soon as well. And I think Didge is coming along with them. So I think he had a brunch last week though. So but he's anxious to get back on. So shout out to those guys, man. Always fun having those guys on. So, but other than that, I ain't got nothing for y'all. I ain't doing nothing special. I ain't got nothing coming up. I'm not DJing for 8 hours. I'll be listening though. I'll be watching and listening. I'll do that. And that's what it's gonna be. But till next time, I'm your boy Prime, and that's Source, and we out of here. Peace.
Game time.